The next question. Muhammad Yasin, a businessman from London, UK. Is it compulsory for a Muslim man to offer 5 times salah in congregation in the mosque? If yes, then what are the valid reasons for not doing so? A similar question is asked on the YouTube. AAZ Show. If I miss salah in Jamaat due to my academic task, will it be a sin? According to the view of majority of the scholars, they say that for a man to offer salah in congregation in the mosque is compulsory. And they give the various hadith. Some scholars, like Imam Adhabi, in his book, The Kabair, they say that not offering salah in congregation in a mosque without a valid reason is the 65th major sin. And there are various hadith that can be quoted. And the hadith that is there in the hadith in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 1, hadith number 657, which says that the Prophet said that the salah which the hypocrites hate the most to offer in congregation in the mosque is the Isha salah and the Fajr salah. But if anyone knew the reward for offering salah in a mosque in congregation, they would have crawled to the mosque. And then the hadith continues, I feel like telling the muezzin to give the adhan and asking a man to lead the salah so that I could go with a torch of fire and burn the houses of those men who did not come to the mosque for the congregation salah. Imagine, this hadith is very specific, in which the beloved Prophet Muhammad said that those people who did not come for the compulsory congregation salah, and the salah is mentioned, Isha and Fajr, he felt like asking a person to lead the salah, be the imam, so that he could take a torch and burn the house of the men who did not come to the mosque for salah. So based on this hadith and various other hadiths are there, Imam Adhabi in his book, The Kabair, the major sins, he lists not offering compulsory congregation salah in the mosque without a valid reason as major sin number 65. So according to me, offering salah in the mosque is compulsory. Now coming to your question, what are the valid reasons where you're permitted not to offer salah in congregation? The hadith which is there in Sahih Muslim, volume number 2, hadith number 1487, in which Ashab by the name of Abdullah, he says that at our time a person did not come to the mosque for praying salah in congregation are only 2 types. One is hypocrite who's known for his hypocrisy, and the second is a sick man. And he goes on to say that even a sick man would come with the support of 2 men and yet pray in the mosque. And the next hadith, the hadith earlier of Sahih Muslim, volume number 2, hadith number 1486, it says that a blind man comes to the Prophet and he says that I do not have anyone to lead me to the mosque. Can I pray at home? So the Prophet gives him permission. When the man is about to leave, he calls him back and he asks him, do you hear the adhan? He says yes. Then the Prophet said, answer the adhan. That means even for a blind man who doesn't have anyone to lead him to the mosque, Yet the Prophet said it is compulsory for him to read to offer the salah in Jamaat in the mosque as long as he can hear the adhan. Based on this hadith, you can come to know very clearly that the first hadith, where the Prophet would burn the house of those people those men who don't come for salah, it's clear cut that it is fard. One of the valid reasons from the hadith you come to know that if a person is sick and if he cannot go to the mosque, it's a valid reason in which there is no two doubt. But based on the other hadith which I quoted of Sahih Muslim, point number 2, hadith number 1486, about the blind man, the Prophet said that if you hear the adhan, you have to answer the adhan. Most of the scholars say that as long as you can hear the adhan when a man gives in a silent night or a day with no wind, without any microphone, if it's given loudly, if you can hear, then you have to offer salah in the mosque in congregation. But if you cannot hear, it is permissible. But they say that yet if you offer, the Prophet said, the more distance you walk towards the mosque, the more sawab you get. So it is mustahab, they say. So as far as the first reason is concerned, if you are sick, it's very clear cut. But the scholars, based on the man who was blind, the Prophet said if you hear, you have to answer the call. They say, and they derive that for other people also, if you cannot hear the adhan and if you're far away, then it is permissible. Though it becomes makruh, but it is permissible. But my question is that when the Prophet said, if people came to know the reward of offering salah in Jamaat in a mosque, people would crawl. So where is the question of you not praying in the mosque? So I would say it is absurd for a Muslim not to pray in the mosque just because he is far away from the mosque and he doesn't want to pray. Imagine, he is losing all the sawab. The Prophet said he would like to burn the houses of those people who would not come. So I am of the opinion that he should offer salah. The majority of the scholars say that if it's far away, it's permissible. And there is also fatwa, some scholars, including the famous scholar Al-Mirdawi. Al-Mirdawi, he says in his fatwa that amongst the valid reason for not offering salah in congregation in the mosque is if he fears that there will be loss in his income, which is a requirement for him to live. That means if there is a loss in income, if he says that if he has to go to the salah and if there is a job and doesn't allow, in this cases it is permitted, this is his fatwa. But what I say that this question of you staying in a place where there is no mosque will rarely arise if you are living in a Muslim country. Yes, if you go to a non-Muslim country and a non-Muslim area, then the possibility is there. But if you're living in a Muslim country where majority Muslims are there, so but naturally there has to be a mosque. And where is the question of you not hearing the adhan? So I'm of the view that a Muslim should offer salah in the mosque always, it is fard. And among the valid reason, for example, you are saying that okay, you get a house, which is far away from the mosque because you can't find a house close because it's expensive. So I would say that instead of living in a 3-bedroom apartment which is far away from the mosque, if the apartment next to the mosque is expensive, okay, live in a 2-bedroom apartment close to the mosque. No problem. You may have to face certain inconvenience, but the reward that you get in praying in a mosque is tremendous. Or you stay far away, but yet come to the mosque for your salah. The option is yours. But there's no question of not offering salah in congregation in a mosque. There can be certain reason, for example, the question asked by the second brother is that for academic reason, can he miss the salah in Jamaat? Now if you are saying that you are going to miss salah in Jamaat every day, maybe 2 salah, I would say no. If you want to miss a salah once in a blue moon, for example, if you say that my exams are there, and my exams are there maybe during Zohar, and the exam are for few hours, and maybe I cannot go to the mosque, and if I have to pray in the common room, in the student's room, in the university, okay, accepted. You can miss the Jamaat once in a blue moon, pray alone or pray with your friends in Jamaat before the examination, after the examination, no problem. Or if it is so long that you miss the Dhuhr Salah, you can join your Dhuhr and Asr and pray together. It's permissible. In Islam, for a valid reason, to join the Salah is permissible. It is permissible. While traveling, it's permissible as well as for a valid reason. For example, if it's raining heavily or if you have an examination. So if it's done for academic reason, once in a blue moon, once in a while, acceptable. But if you say, I have to go to college every day, and if I'm going to miss my Zohar Salah every day in Jamaat, according to me, it's not permissible. So the valid reason, if it's really there, once in a blue moon, fine. Otherwise, praying in Jamaat is a fard, and according to Imam Madhabi, if you miss the congregation Salah without a valid reason, it is a major sin. So I request all the brothers that see to it that you pray all the 5 times Salah in a mosque, in a congregation, once in a blue moon if there is some emergency, and if you miss the Salah and you pray in a Jamaat with your friend outside the mosque, or you pray alone for a valid reason like an examination or some emergency, it's accepted, but don't make it very frequently or daily affair. Hope that answers the question.